we ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's go ahead and get into it. Y'all want to hear what I thought about for the boys. And honestly, before I get into this, spoilers ahead. Good news, hooligans. It is your captain, Tornado McCray, here again with another video, man. Happy to see y'all. Hope y'all are doing a great one. I know it's been a minute. It's been a while. Your boy finally got his hard drive back to start making his own old videos and things of that nature. And first one that we're going to come in is I have finally seen the season finale of The Boys. So we got to get into it. We got to talk about it. And just like I did for Stranger Things season finale, I'm going to give y'all my rundown and my take and honestly my overall feelings towards this series finale. I thought it was, for lack of a better terms, it wrapped up well, but we're gonna get into that, man. We're going to be into that. But before we get into that, please, Hooligan Express, make sure if y'all want to sit there, join us today. Hey, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell at the bottom below so you can become a part of the Hooligan Express here and we can join you, man. We actually do have a Discord channel so more people can get involved in that. I will be more active in that. I've built that Discord. However, ain't nobody really been popping off in there. So I probably got to do better about that as well. But we ain't going to waste no more time. Let's go ahead and get into it. Y'all want to hear what I thought about for The Boys. And honestly, I thought The Boys series finale was actually a really good one. My only issue is that the length of the series finale was really, really short. It was only an hour and probably like 5-6 minutes. I definitely thought they could have expounded upon this. This should have been at minimum a 2.5 hour series finale. You really could have gone in depth in the parts of everything that's building up to this, for everything that we getting with this series, especially because this is supposed to be the end. The next stuff is supposed to be the prequel with Vought Rising, as well as I've heard that they're gonna do The Boys Mexico. Don't know what that entails, if I'm being honest there. But as we begin the episode, we saw that everybody is mourning the loss of Frenchie, which was a heartbreaker. Definitely felt that when I saw it happen, but somebody had to go, and it just made a whole lot of sense. So as Butcher and the crew, Huey, MM, Starlight, Kamiko, and the squad are getting ready, we see that they have devised a plan and they know what Homelander's thinking. You get what I'm saying? They know what Homelander's thinking. They know he's about to have this huge ceremony to indoctrinate and make this man God of like the world, of America and of the world. And God forbid I'm just not all this. Oh, before I get into this, spoilers ahead. Shouldn't have to say it, but I'll probably have to put it in the comment section now too. Spoilers ahead. But as we get into this series and we're getting into the nitty gritty, the highlights and the lowlights and things about it, I'll just give y'all my honest feedback because I'm probably gonna miss something if I try to do a full rundown off the top of my head, but I'll do my best. You see Old Father and you see Ashley sitting there discussing what Homelander's plan really is, and you know Ashley's sitting there, she's kind of still asking her other self to mind read and figure out what Old Father's thinking and if he's a believer or what Homelander's gonna do, and her other self is staying true to her word, not saying a damn thing, which should be told that's the way she should have played it. I'm glad she wasn't sitting there helping her out, and it made a lot of sense. Old Father was kind of iffy and doing his thing, but he was really trying to just devote himself to Homelander, what Homelander wanted to do, even though he didn't necessarily agree with the method Homelander was going about doing it, including the fact that Homelander just dropped off one billionaire, threw his ass up into space and was gone. And then you get the guy I hate the most, the Deep, come in and just slobbing on Homelander's dick, bro. Like, it was annoying, and it's like, bro, get your nuts out your mouth. Just stop. And Homelander finally tells him to his face, bro, you're nothing to me. I don't respect you. I don't like you. The only reason why I haven't killed you is because I want you to feel how much of a loser you are in your heart. And honestly, I said, yo, that's the best thing Homelander said all series. Truth be told, I was 100% all with it. I thought it was perfect because the Deep has been so annoying to me for this entire series, and I couldn't wait for this man to get off. Fast forward, so they go to the squad, and now we're sitting here looking at, all right, does the plan work? Do we have to create another plan? Did Frenchie actually come through. MM's like, yo, there's no way to tell, and there's no like science to confirm whether it worked or not. And Butcher devises a plan. What happens is Sage comes up to Kamiko and just starts egging her on about Frenchie, saying how Frenchie was Kamiko's puppet, how Kamiko really took him in, and then Kamiko used him, and when Frenchie started to like another girl, Kamiko got jealous, and it pissed Kamiko off to where she fired off the Soldier Boy power. And was when Kamiko was about to go after Sage, yo, Butcher's like, hey, it was me. I told her to do this because we had to test to see if this worked. And when Sage gets up, she realizes, oh snap, I don't have my smart brain anymore. Everything's quiet. It's gone. I don't gotta do nothing. She's like, for the first time, I know peace. So Sage is no longer smart. Honestly, I didn't agree with that move because I felt like you kind of need her to be smart to get through all of this. So losing her, like, didn't make sense. Now, we go forward. The team has devised a plan. Homelander's gonna give his big speech. And when he gives his big speech, we're gonna dig in under the tunnels and we're gonna ambush him in the White House. Sage decides she's gonna part ways and says, yep, I'm out. I'm going to Harry Potter world. That is verbatim. That is really what she said. I'm going to Harry Potter world to live out to have fun, because she's finally quiet and she doesn't have powers anymore. Hey, to each his own. We get in and we fast forward, and as the team is starting to execute their plan, they go into the tunnels. First tunnel they get into, they realize, hey yo, something's wrong here. This door wasn't here. And they decide, they get ambushed in these tunnels. The tunnels close in and they're getting ambushed and shot at from above. Mind you, at this time, Homelander has started giving his, I guess, State of the Union address and is addressing everybody to the nation how he is now the second coming, or the first coming of a new Jesus, a new God, a present God that is in the face of everybody. And while they're sitting there, Ashley is panicking. Ashley is asking for her other self, like, to tell her what's going on, tell her what to do, so on and so forth. And old father's like, what's going on? She's like, nothing. We're cool. And Secret Service, they're like, hey yo, we just got a hit on our system that a small team is in the tunnels trying to ambush us. Old father's like, oh, that's just Butcher and the boys. Go ahead, take Ashley away because she's the president now, and they'll handle it. As they're taking Ashley away, Ashley having a conflict of interest, a conflict of like bodily autonomy and things like that, and just self-doubt. Not even self-doubt. More, she is having a conscience. Decides to run away from Secret Service, go down in the tunnels, and help Butcher and the squad. And when she gets lost in the tunnels, her second self in the back of her head tells her which direction to go. So she gets to the tunnels, she opens it up and lets Butcher and the team out, and she's like, hey, y'all wanna go down, bust a left, and y'all be good. And they're like, you coming with us? She said, nah, I gotta go hide. So she goes and hides and does her thing. When the team gets up, they go up to the next floor and they run into the Deep, who is crying. They're like, yo, we gonna take you out. And he decides, you know, this is my time to get my get back. So her and the Deep go off, and he jacks this man up out the White House, takes him far away to some beach or whatever, and they start to get to scrap. They get to scrapping, doing their thing. The Deep basically full red pill sins and is like, nah, everything's your fault. It's your reason. It's not my fault. And he's like, bro, you made all these choices. You're afraid of Homelander. You feel like you're a loner. It's all your fault. Why don't you just accept that? And he's like, no, it's your fault. And he beats him, and then I was calling it the whole show, just Kobe's him into the ocean. And when he gets into the ocean, like clockwork, all the sea creatures come up and jump him and kill the Deep. So that was magnifique. It was awesome. I love that. I truly, truly love that. Then we got to go to the second level, right? So, and he's gone. So now it's Butcher, Kamiko, Huey. Old father comes in and he's like, yo, all I want is Butcher and the girl. The other two of you can go. Huey shoots the smoke detector at the top because he knows what kind of smoke detector it is and knows it can lay a cloud and basically disguise them under the smoke. So as they go into the smoke, Huey disguises his voice to help and him get away. They decide to go get away because Huey's disguising his voice as Butcher. He does a great Butcher impression, leads father away, and as old father kicks in the room, Huey tries to shoot at him. Looks over and sees a custom-made ball gag that Ashley had made for her and old father to use. And right when old father's about to use his power on Huey, hits him with the ball gag, and we got a head explosion.
God damn.
Kind of cool if you ask me. So now that's down. So then in the middle of Homelander's speech. He's getting to the end of it. And Homelander gets to the word that he's trying to say. He is father and that everybody who accepts him as the Lord is their children. Earlier in this episode, Homelander met up with Ryan, trying to embrace Ryan, and Ryan just told him straight up to his face, yo, you're a loser. Loser. You're alone. No amount of power is gonna make you no more of a loner, and you are a crappy, horrible father. You're a horrible human being. He's like, you can suck it. Like, I'm not with you no more. I don't ever want to be with you. He's like, you're the most powerful man, and you're a dick. So when he gets to the word father, Homelander gets triggered because his own father doesn't accept him and his son doesn't accept him as a father. So the man starts going off the deep end, goes off the script of the teleprompter, and is going off the deep end talking about how all of you are insects, you're beneath me, no matter what I do, you're not gonna accept me, so on and so forth. So you know what, it don't matter. I'll end all of you who don't accept me and start this world anew from ash and burn everything down. And that's when Butcher and Kimiko kick the door in. Everything's going the way they want. He's like, oh, Butcher, you here? He's like, I guess we really gonna get that fight. He's like, I thought you were gonna go show. Mind you, camera's still rolling. The world is seeing that. Butcher, he's like, you got his power? You got that power from Soulja Boy? Or did Frenchie die not doing it? And Butcher's like, let's find out. Kimiko comes in and Homelander's like, oh crap. So Homelander and Butcher start getting the scrap. Kimiko is trying to charge up to use the power. And when Homelander actually realizes Kimiko has it, now he's scared. He's trying to run away. Boo! You's a bitch! He's sitting there trying to run away. He's also hitting Kimiko, trying to do his thing. Out of the blue, Ryan flies in. And Ryan and Butcher tag team Homelander enough to hold him down. And they're telling Kimiko, yo, shoot us. Like, use the power on this man. And Kimiko initially can't do it because she's not angry. She's just sad that she lost Frenchie. And she has a hallucination of Frenchie to sit there and she's like, yo, I can't use it. I'm not angry. I'm just sad. And Frenchie tells him, and I would say from beyond the grave or whatever, like, yo, that's your power. You can use it however you want. You don't have to be mad to use it. Soon as she does that, light turns on and she's like, all right, bet. Shoots directly, full blast on all of them. Homelander, Butcher, and Ryan. They're all knocked out on the floor. Homelander and Butcher are the first two to get up. Butcher's in there staring and he doesn't know if it worked or not. Homelander tries to laser him. Nothing. Homelander tries to fly away like a little bird. Nothing. So now Homelander is freaking out because he realizes he's what he hated most. He's just a man. No. Wait. He's just a man. And he tries to punch Butcher. Butcher stops all of it. So he gets to just wailing. He's like, this is for Frenchie. Bop. Just going off. And then it gets to the point where he done beat Homelander so bad. Homelander is begging not to die. Begging, saying, I'll give you Vought. I'll give you anything. Man's flat out said, I will suck your dick. Huh? Nigga, what? Brother, what's that?
You're gay! He's gay!
Pleading not to die. He's like, I am the Homelander. And Butcher's like, no, you're nothing. Takes a crowbar right through Homelander's head. And then uses the crowbar to pry open the skull so the brains spill out.
Jesus Christ.
And that's how Homelander dies. Again, I told you, spoiler here, man. So we get all that. Realize Butcher's no longer has powers. Ryan no longer has powers. And Homelander was killed on camera in front of the world. Homelander is dead. So obviously there's fallout. Ashley, still being alive in the president, says, oh, we want to thank the wonderful team. We saw that Homelander was getting out of hand and we had a team by the CIA go and handle that situation. And oh, by the way, no, I will not be stepping down from power because I had nothing to do with it. She gets immediately impeached that day and sent out. So she's gone. So as the team is now relishing in victory, they're sitting there at the house. It's Butcher, Huey, Starlight, Kimiko, and Ryan. And as they're sitting there talking, Ryan just sits there, hears the news, talking about his dad. Butcher goes up to him and says, hey, like, now that I don't have power, maybe we could start anew. We could do something light, man. We can be a family. I think that's what your mom would want. And Ryan tells him straight up, yo, I didn't choose Homelander over you. Like, yeah, he was my dad, but I didn't choose him over you. I chose to help for myself. And I don't want to be with you because you're not a good person either. I want to be by myself and I want this to be the last time I see you. Which, hey, Jesus on, I'm not mad at that at all. And he leaves Butcher. Butcher goes in the back room, realizing, dang, I guess I am alone, and finds that Terror The dog has passed in its sleep. They ain't need to do that. They ain't need to do that. Tara's taking a long sleep. And so now Butcher pulls out the virus. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Kind of goes into the living room, sees everybody, and then disappears. Huey notices, and Huey follows him because he sees Butcher driving up. Follows him, goes up, is doing his thing, and he finds Butcher standing in vault in the same room where the 7 was, looking over the skyline. And Huey's like, yo, what you doing? And Butcher's like, yeah, I put the virus in the sprinkler system. It was Frenchie's idea as a failsafe. I press this button, sprinkles all 99 floors, every soup here's gotta go, and then it'll spread across the world in a few days. Huey being Huey's like, bro.
Ho, brother, whoa, now. You got too much dip on your chip.
Why are you trying to do this? If you would have done that, you would have did it already. And he's like, nah, soups, they gotta die. They have to die. And Huey's like, nah, I don't agree with that. So Huey, obviously because he's still with Starlight and loves Kimiko too, pulls out a gun on Butcher, knowing Butcher's just a human. Butcher ain't a god no more. And Butcher's like, boy, you ain't gonna shoot nobody with that. It takes a real man to shoot somebody. And Butcher comes up, snatches the gun, starts wailing on Huey. Huey fights back. Huey fights back as much as he can, but Butcher, better in combat, does what he gotta do. And in the last minute and last hour, Butcher has the trigger for the virus in his hand, and he's starting to pull on it. Huey looks over, he sees the gun next to him. As Butcher is about to pull on the trigger, he sees himself in Huey. And in that blink of hesitation, Huey shoots Butcher.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Huey shoots Butcher. Butcher bleeds out. Huey's like, yo, I'm sorry, let me call an ambulance. Butcher's like, nah, bro. He's like, don't call an ambulance for me. I gave you no choice. And he's like, listen, out of all I put you through, you never change. You never change, and I'm proud of that. You are every bit of Lenny. You got Lenny spirit in you, and I'm proud of that. And Butcher died. And that is essentially the end of the whole story. So with that, in epilogue, like they bury Butcher, and at the burial, it's Huey, Starlight, Ryan, MM, and Kimiko at the burial site. Kimiko, she goes off on her own. Ryan and MM go off, and then Huey and Starlight go off together. Kimiko ends up settling down in France in Marseille with the dog that Frenchie wanted. MM gets remarried to Monique and gets his family back. So happy for him. And Ryan is actually like his best man at the wedding and whatnot. So I'm happy for him for that. And then Huey and Starlight are together, and it's revealed that Huey gets offered a job to run, I guess, FBI surveillance team to monitor rogue soups who are trying to do evil. He turns it down because he now has his own audiovisual cable shop that he runs with Annie, or Starlight, and she's pregnant. She's pregnant, but he also has like a police scanner in the back of the store so Starlight can still go help people and whatnot. And while pregnant, she flies off to go stop some crime. So that is the series finale of The Boys. Woo! So with that being said, man, what are my thoughts about the whole thing? Honestly, I thoroughly enjoyed this series finale. And my biggest gripe is I wish it was longer. I wish the series finale was 2.5 hours. I wish it was the length of the Stranger Things finale. But I think it did a better job of wrapping stuff up and doing it in a clean, concise way than the Stranger Things finale. And I thoroughly enjoyed the Stranger Things finale. I actually did. Not a lot of people, but I think they did a well job. With that in mind, the things I do have an issue with. One, Sage, the way she got rid of, I thought she would have been killed off, especially when she left the door. I don't like that she just kind of just left out in the ether. I don't like the way Soulja Boy was done either, and I get they're doing it for Vought Rising and so on and so forth, but even though they're doing that, Vought Rising is a prequel. You could have killed off Soulja Boy in a different, you could have killed him off at the end of this. You don't have to bring him back in any way, shape, or form. That's just me. Sage being able to live a normal life, cool. I would have liked to see a clip of her in the epilogue just living normally and being happy and not having to think about all this stuff. I like the fact that MM got back with Monique. I'm happy for him there. What entails of Ryan is kind of up in the air. I'm guessing he's just a mentor, like MM's just a mentor to him. And then Annie and Huey, I am happy that they got their happy ending there to do their thing. I know it was necessary. I don't like Frenchie dying. I don't like Frenchie dying. Butcher, I knew was going to die. And I actually called Huey being the one to kill Butcher. I actually called that, and I was shocked at the same time. Like, damn, they really did it. Okay, I'm glad Homelander died. However, I felt there was only two ways. Either they could have gone the traditional Homelander is killed route, the good guys, quote unquote, win, or we go full meta, evil wins, full sin dark mode, evil takes over, Homelander is God, the world's ending, we're just screwed. I felt they could have gone that route and I wouldn't have been surprised either way. So, I mean, there's definitely that. The Deep, should have been killed off a long time ago, but I'm very satisfied with his death. Ashley getting impeached and just written off like that kind of sucks, but that goes within the runtime of a lot of this. You have to give them a quick out to do this. You know what I mean? You had to give everybody kind of a quick but still sensical wrap up. And that's one thing I will say that they did with the boys that they didn't do with Stranger Things. There's still all the stuff, even though it was quick, still made sense. There wasn't a moment where you're just like, okay, that doesn't really add up, so to speak. It doesn't fully make sense. And when it comes to Homelander, and I've seen a lot of people talk about this, Homelander dying or the way he went out, crying like a little baby and sitting there. Some people are like, oh my God, what'd you do to my Homelander? Like, he wouldn't be on his knees. Like, yes, he would. Yes, he would. The Homelander you saw is 100% how Homelander was. Begging for people's approval, begging to be liked and loved, and would have done anything to be spared and loved. So I'm not surprised that when Homelander was turned human, and he's never had to be human a day in his life, yeah, he would result to cowering in fear and being a bitch. I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked. It would have happened. Homelander was not ready for that. He was not ready to be humbled. He was not ready to sit there and be like, oh, I repent for my ways. The man legitimately SA'd Ryan's mom, Butcher's wife, and just justified it the whole series. He offed so many people because he thought he was untouchable. So the moment he became touchable, now all of a sudden, y'all are shocked that he's cowering in fear and acting like a little baby, like a little kid, like, oh, please don't hurt me. No, I expect that. That was in him the whole time. Like, he was a hoe the whole time inside his heart. That's always been him. He just had the powers to mask it. So I'm not surprised by that. And it is what it is. Thoroughly, I think they landed this way better in the end. My only biggest gripe is the run time. You could have prolonged this. You could have elongated this entire show. I expected it to be 2 hours. I wanted it to be 2 hours, and it should have been 2 hours. Outside of that, everybody got what they deserved. If you wanted to make it even more heart-wrenching, I guess you could have killed off somebody else. Starlight, maybe those two. Killing Kamiko would have been hurtful. And that would have been pointless to me. Killing Kamiko would have been pointless. She deserved a happy ending. But if you really wanted to drive the point home, killing Starlight or may have been the way to go. If you really wanted to be like, yeah, this is it. We really got to do this. And I know they talked about it earlier in the episodes, like Annie making the sacrifice play. That could have been a thing or whatever the case may be. Or Homelander getting to her in the middle of the fight. Cool. But when it's all said and done, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I thought it was a great series. I thought they did a good job. And I do not hate this ending at all. Nothing was really left ambiguous with the exception of, like I said, Sage and Ryan and Ashley in a sense, because Ashley's still a soup, so is she going to use her power to get out? Things of that nature. But overall, I have no complaints outside of that. Those are my biggest gripe. Time and really, that's yeah. I would say the time run was really it, because you increase the time, you can thoroughly flush out the plot a lot more and you can make it more grandiose in scale. So that's what I'll say about it. I would highly recommend The Boys. In terms of overall reaction, I think a lot of people wanted something different, or they wanted the dark ending. And they didn't want the cheesy, the heroes always win type of thing. I do think, again, in terms of execution and hype and landing, they have fewer plot holes than Stranger Things. And they damn sure finished way better than what Game of Thrones ever did. That's just me. I guess the other big plot hole is, you could say, if Soulja Boy was going to be off like that in episode 7, why did they have him play such a prominent role? You could have just had him cryo chamber early in the season. Definitely could have done that, and I wouldn't have had an issue with it. But that is The Boys, man. I think I would recommend the show to anybody. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think it's going to be interesting. Guys, gals, everybody in between. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell at the bottom so you can always be notified of when these videos are dropping, man. Next comment below, let me know how y'all feel about the boys. What y'all think about the series finale and everything that transpired, because y'all know the deal. At the end of the day, what do I know? I'm just a skinny brother with 2 tats. Peace. Much love to all you. Take care. Later days. I'm out of here, baby.